different explanations in the Midrash. One says that it's connected to 4 cups in the Torah. What 4 cups? The 4 cups that are mentioned in the story of the cupbearer with Yosef. So if you want to take a look at those 4 cups, there's a good Vartara connected. So you need to pay a little attention though, because it's page 217 and 219. So it says it's really 219. Okay. So it says Yosef was in jail. There were 2 individuals who had dreams. They did something wrong in the palace, in Pharaoh's palace. One was a cupbearer, one was a butler, and one was a baker. And they both did something. They weren't careful enough, and Pharaoh sent them to jail. Yosef happened to be in jail, and Yosef solved their dreams while he was in jail. Now, for one of them, for the butler, Yosef said, "Hey, you're going to survive. They're going to restore you to your position." The baker, his fate was not as positive. Basically died. So the question is, why did Yosef say a positive interpretation to the butler and a negative one to the baker? So let's take a look at the dream, and from that we can learn a message, I think, for the Seder Pesach. So here's the dream, page 219, verse 9. It says, then the chamber of cupbearers recounted his dream to Joseph and said to him, in my dream, behold, there was a grapevine in front of me. On the grapevine were 3 tendrils, and it was as though it budded. Its blossom bloomed, and its clusters ripened into grapes. And Pharaoh's cup, that's the first cup, was in my hand. Okay, his cup was in his hand. He took the grapes, pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, number 2. And I, the butler in the dream, placed the cup, number 3, on the Pharaoh's palm. The next verse says, Joseph said to him, this is his interpretation. 3 tendrils are 3 days. In another 3 days, Pharaoh will lift up your head, and you will restore you to your post, and you will place Pharaoh's cup, number 4, in his hand, as was the former practice when you were the cupbearer. So we have 4 cups. That's nice. It's a parallel. Cup, 4 cups, 4. But there has to be something deeper here, right? What's the deeper?
And they just mentioned it 4 times.
Correct. So if we were just to stop here, this would not be a great Vartara, but I'm going to take it to the next level now, okay? So I heard a really nice explanation. The dream of, so this is a very active dream. The cupbearer did something wrong. He wasn't careful. In his dream, he was already thinking about how he can make it better through action. Take the cup, I squeeze the grapes, I put the cup in the Pharaoh's hand. Actions. Now, the dream of the baker was very passive. We're not going to read it, but the baker's dream is basically he's dreamt that there was bread in his hat, and birds came and took the bread. He wasn't doing anything active. Things were happening to him. And so when Yosef saw that the butler was dreaming about how to make things better, he understood that this individual is probably the one who is going to be restored to his position. So how's this connected to us? When the way we usually understand the 4 cups is that it's God's redemption a long time ago, which we're celebrating. This reminds us that the redemption is in our hands. The butler was thinking about how to make things better. And so as we drink each cup, we're reminded of each one of the 4 cups that the butler dreamt about, how he could improve his situation. And this points to our role in our personal redemption. And we talked about this a lot, like recently, this idea that Seder Pesach on the night is a very powerful night. Rabbi Posner spoke, it's Yilel Shimurim, it's a night of protection. Something very spiritual going on that night. God protected us, continues to protect us, but we also have great potential to change things in our lives at Seder Pesach. And so this reminds us that when you drink each cup, you're reminded, oh, this is the cup, the butler tried to improve, and his lot improved, and we can also improve. And we have a lot of help on this night in doing that. So may we see a lot of bracha, and we may succeed to achieve the change that we want, step at a time, a cup at a time at the Seder.